Did you know 1 in 4 people suffer from mental health problems? Mental illnesses are a very important topic to talk about these days. We all probably know someone who suffers from a type of mental illness. Hello, my name is Ben Tobler, and for my senior project, I researched the effect of physical activity on mental health. When I was searching for ideas for what to choose as my project, I wanted to do something that would affect me for the rest of my life. I knew exercise was perfect for it because you can never be too old to exercise. For the first half of my project, I joined the golf team and practiced with them. It was my first year playing golf, and I had a great time meeting new people and learning a new sport. The second half of my project was going to the gym and working out. Physical activity has a positive effect on mental health. When you are active, your brain produces endorphins. These endorphins are only one of the chemicals that is produced in your brain when you exercise, but they are the most important. Endorphins trigger a positive feeling in the body. After you exercise, you are in a euphoric state of mind because of these feel-good endorphins. The way endorphins can help depression is they interact with receptors in your brain that reduce your perception of pain. As time goes on and you keep being more physically active is when it has a more positive effect. You have to keep being active for it to have lasting effects. Adults 19 through 64 should aim for at least 30 minutes of physical activity at least 5 days a week, while children and teenagers ages 5 through 18 should be active for a minimum of 1 hour per day. The main way most people get these numbers is by participating on sports teams. There's a study done on a group of 1.2 million people who suffer from depression who use physical activity as a way to cope with it. The second most used method is going to the gym with a partner. The reason why going to the gym with a partner is ranked second is because of the socializing it gives you. Sometimes people's depression can get bad because they feel like they don't fit in or they don't connect with anyone. This is why being on a sports team and going to the gym are the two most used methods. They cover the being active part and also gives you that person to talk to. Going to the gym with a partner gets you to connect with one person, but being on a sports team gives you many more people to connect with, and this is why it is ranked first. There are many different methods people can use to cope with depression, and walking, running, cycling are all the next most used methods after these two. Some other common mental disorders are anxiety and stress. The endorphins help cope with depression and stress, but the serotonin that is produced is what helps people cope with anxiety. The serotonin that is produced just in the brain, just like endorphins. Physical activity is just a great way to cope with many different common mental illnesses. Being physically active helps more than just affecting depression and anxiety. It can help you with stress, sleep, gives you a sense of accomplishment, increases your work ethic, and much more. The serotonin being produced while being active has a positive effect on these things. Physical activity is one of the most important things you can do for your everyday life to improve your mental health as well as your physical health. The link between my research and my project is being physically active. I researched how being physically active affects mental health, and for my project I was being active and I was surrounded by other people who were also being physically active. This is an important link between the two because during the golf practices and workout sessions, I was able to see the positive effect of being active on others, not just myself. I was able to notice how they were acting and talking to each other before, during, and after each practice session. Everyone seemed to be much happier during and after, which is because of the endorphins being produced while they were active. In conclusion, this project has taught me many things. I have learned that being physically active has a positive effect on mental health, and I have learned that exercise can lead to lower chances of having depression, anxiety, and stress due to endorphins and serotonin that is released in the brain during exercise. I've also seen these effects firsthand through everyone that has surrounded me during my project. I'm so glad that I've had these experiences that have taught me a lot about myself and others. Thank you.